September 2012, Osborne Park High School welcomes back its students with some interesting news. The school is implementing a policy that encourages the use of personal devices. Prince William County is calling it Bring Your Own Device. This is quite controversial since admin believes that technology can either help or hinder the learning process. Principal Beach says that it has the potential to positively impact student learning. To ensure this happens, he sends out a letter reiterating the new policy, but underlines that it is not to be used without a teacher's permission. Prince William County Code of Behavior has the full definition of the policy. It says the device refers to a personally owned wireless and/or portable computing device that includes but is not limited to existing and emerging communications, portable internet devices that handheld internet system, portable internet word processing. Let's see how the student body receives this new policy. More about this policy, we found a guy named Geroe.
My name is Geroe.
He is a social studies teacher here at OP. He teaches World History 2 and AP Government.
I'm a social studies teacher here at OP. I teach World History 2 and AP Government.
So we asked him about the infamous BYOD policy.
Infamous. Okay.
He is the absolute best person to talk to about this.
I don't know if I'm necessarily the best person to talk about this, but it is, I think, important to get the point of view of the teachers in here, and I do use the policy.
His syllabus says that the policy is welcomed and even encouraged in his class.
I always encourage students if they want to bring a laptop or an iPad or something, particularly in AP Government, primarily for them because a lot of these students, if not most of them, are college bound. And in college, it's pretty much essential that you have some kind of laptop, something to take notes on like that. I've seen kids who try to keep up with the handwritten notes in a college lecture. It doesn't work. College classes basically are lectures. That's all they are. In college, it's lecture, which means you're taking a lot of notes. And if you're trying to do it in a notebook or something, you're going to go through many notebooks. So I just, in my mind, especially for the AP Gov, it's important to get them starting to think how a college student thinks.
But there has to be more to that.
But there's more to that, and I think why teachers generally tend to like it. More and more with the development of technology, the fact that, when I was in high school, phones were pretty basic. You could call people on them, no texting, nothing else, that was it. Now you got Google in your phone. You got computers in your phone more advanced than the, Apollo rocket computers that went to the moon, okay? So this is pretty impressive stuff. And it's starting to become more commonplace that you use this stuff in your everyday work, whatever you do for a living. They're not going to say, oh, and by the way, don't use technology. No, they're going to encourage you to use it. They want you to use this stuff. So familiarity with the technological developments we're coming up with these days, that's an important thing. That's an important thing to learn. That is important to know for your job. So anyone who says, you have to be able to do it without, do this without a computer, without your phone, well, it's important to be able to use, what you have in your head between your ears. But it's also important to know that you're going to be expected to use these things. And any time, you don't know how to use the technology around you, you're automatically at a disadvantage out there outside of school.
We do have computer labs and libraries that would give students access to these devices, but they are often unavailable and closed when students need them most, such as after-school hours. Another problem is that some students don't even know about the BYOD policy.
Do you know what the BYOD policy is?
No. I have no idea what the VDOYE policy is.
Well, I would say, again, I am a AP Gov teacher, and I'm going to have to go to a legal reference here. Ignorance of the law is not an excuse for it. Just because you don't know the policy doesn't mean you don't have to follow it. It's your responsibility as a student if you want to use your technology to learn when and how you can use it. Just like, when you get a car, it's your responsibility to learn how you can use it, when you can use it. You can't ride up on the sidewalk with your car and then be like, oh, well, I didn't know I couldn't do that. You're still getting a ticket. So when someone says, I didn't know I couldn't do that, it's not an excuse. It's your responsibility as a student to figure that out.
So what triggered the need to have this policy if students are bound to misuse it anyway? Why have this policy now?
About kind of what I said earlier, this shift towards the devices. I mean, there are some people that will say that's because we couldn't stop them anyway, so let's at least control it. I'm sure that's part of it, the fact that it was all over the place to begin with, the phones, the smartphones in particular, or computers and all that. There was this idea that, yeah, they're out there. We're not going to be able to stop them entirely. Let's find a way to use that. But I think there's also that recognition that it's an important skill to have. Just like study skills are important, and problem-solving skills are important, critical thinking skills are important, all those kind of things that we've had in schools forever. Now we're actually recognizing that, yeah, using this technology is an important skill. It's something that's going to matter when you get out into the workforce.
There was a group of students last year who during the school year tried to get something similar to this passed, but was easily denied. Is the approval of this policy about the students' right to use their device?
No. No, I would not say you have a right to use devices when you're in school. Absolutely not. You're here to learn. And let's be frank with that right up here. You are here to learn and here to develop your mind, here to prepare for the world that comes next for you guys, which is a lot bigger, I think, than a lot of high schoolers will realize. You know, the whole world is more than... It doesn't really go beyond this school and the neighborhoods and all that kind of stuff for a lot of people. So no, I don't think it's about students' right to use technology. I'm pretty familiar with the Constitution. I don't see that one in there. But I will say that there is that recognition that it is useful. So I think that's more of what it's about, that we can use this in a good way, not that, oh, you have the right to socialize with your friends in the middle of my class.
But most communication devices are the student's primary studying tool. How do you go about regulating something like this?
To regulate technology?
Yes.
Well, I think they've made some good starts. For example, with the wireless, you can't get on Facebook, and thank God for that. I wouldn't allow that in my class. None of the laptops or any of that if they had Facebook, because that is an incredible distraction. And they keep doing that, and I think that's a good thing. Banning sites, not necessarily for the content, no, they are, you know, obvious reasons they do, but also because there are those sites that are a distraction.
Should we be worried that this might grow into a problem?
Oh, growing into a problem. Well, there's always potential for problems. Again, they're doing, I think, what they can with blocking Facebook, blocking Twitter.
Why can't we have a policy that's 100% perfect?
No school policy is going to be 100% perfect, but I do think that the school board is, and this school in particular, are on the right track there. And I think any risks that we're taking are pretty much outweighed by the rewards that we're going to get. Yeah, I guess that's my thoughts there.
All right, cool.